Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about how you can make your first $1,000 or maybe $5,000 or maybe even $10,000 within the stock market. Now in this video, we're going to go over some strategies or just the different ways you can actually make that happen. This is by far the number one question that I get about investing in the market is how can I make money? That's what people want to know. Now, although you can make money in the market, it's not entirely as you may think it is, where it's just about getting in and getting out. But there are ways that you can do that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So really quick, guys, if you're new to this channel, be sure to like and subscribe. Stick around. We like to talk about money, we like to talk about investing, we like to talk about how you can succeed from no matter wherever you are. We like to put our money to work on this channel. So without further ado, here is the first one. And the first one is the elephant that is in the room, and that is trading stocks. Now, trading stocks, a lot of times people will, compare that to just like gambling in the market. Well, that may not necessarily be the case when it concerns trading stocks. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, then you're definitely gambling. But when you start to learn and understand what you're doing, then you're not necessarily gambling. It's because you kind of understand and you know what you're doing. But simply put, trading is a way to make money fast in the stock market. Now, what a lot of people do when they do trade and they make money, they also invest their money. So trading is more of a short term, investing is more of a longer term. So let's say, for example, if you're looking to, let's say you bought like something, like you bought like this particular item and you bought it for $50 and then you sold it for $100. That's kind of like what trading is. There are so many different techniques with trading. Now, you have it where you just buy, sell, where buy, hold, or sell. Maybe if it's something very short term, like you buy something at a low price, like the example I just gave, and then you may hold it for a small period of time or maybe a couple days because you're expecting it to pop and then it goes up, and then you take that profit that you made from that and you reap the benefits. So now with that strategy, you can't come to the table with just $5. You want to come to the table with a little bit more money, because if you're going to be buying enough shares to where you're making some type of significant income, then you're going to want to come to the table with a chunk of money. Some people start with a couple hundred, some people start with 500, some people start with thousands of dollars. So around about $500 or so when you're starting to trade just by buy and sell, then that's kind of like a number to kind of keep in mind if you're trying to get into that. Now understand, you're going to lose money. There's going to be some times where you learn and you're going to lose money when you start to learn how to trade. It's not right if you just get in and you never lose anything or never have any mistakes. No, that's part of it, because sometimes we think we know what the market's going to do, and sometimes the market decides not to. But learning how to trade will help you to hedge that risk so you don't have as many risks when you do trade, and most of your trades can be more profitable. So that's one method of trading, which is buy and sell. But then there's another method, because see, what a lot of people think that trading, you only make money when the market goes up. Well, that's actually not true either. You can also make money when the market goes down. And you can do that by simply option trading. And that's when you bet against a stock going up or you're betting against a stock going down. I say the word bet, it's not gambling, but basically you're just holding, a contract that contains 100 shares of a company, per contract, banking on it, saying, hey, it's going to go up to this number, or it's going to go down to this number. Now, if you're right and it's going down and you're betting for it to go down and it's getting close to your price, then guess what? You're making money. If you're betting for it to go up and it's going towards that price that you're betting for it to go against, then you're going to make money. Well, let's say if you're saying, hey, I believe this stock is going to go down, and instead it goes up, then you're going to lose your money. You're not going to lose more than the money that you put in, but you're going to lose money. Now, one of the other ways of trading is margin trading. Now that you can lose more money than you initially set aside to say it's okay to lose or whatever. You can lose a lot of money in margin trading. I don't talk about margin trading because it's probably the highest risk when it concerns trading, and a lot of people have went into debt behind margin trading. But option trading, you don't necessarily have to come to the table with $500. You can come to the table with 10, 20, 50 bucks. If you understand what you're doing and you do it right, then you can actually turn that 50 bucks into hundreds and even thousands of dollars by simply just, playing that option called those option puts or whatever it is that you're into. Just be able to play that right. So options are where you can get a contract that contains 100 shares, and you're going to get it at a certain price, and you can bet against the market going up or that particular stock going up, or you can bet against that particular stock going down. Now, here's a few things to consider when you are trading. Not going to get too detailed, but these are a few things to consider if you're trading. You want to have the right platform. Not all platforms are good for trading. One of the reasons is because some of the platforms have delays, meaning that if you say, you bought this company at a certain price and it goes up to this certain price, and you're like, hey, I want to sell it at this price. Well, when you sell it, the market or that particular company that you may be using, they may not make the sale immediately. It may take like a few seconds, a few minutes, or in some cases a few hours, which means that the price may change within that time. So you're looking for something that is real time, that happens as an instant. So having the right platform is what you want, where you don't have any delays, right? So for example, for a lot of traders or people who are more professional traders, they use a company called TradeStation, no delays, get in, get out with no problem, so they can get the price that they want. But like I said, if you're using a platform that just takes its time, or it has these trading windows, which means it does not necessarily happen real time, it means it happens at a certain period of time during the day, then whatever price you're trying to get, you might not necessarily get. And so that can cause you to lose money, if you're not with the right platform. Now, that is the fastest approach to how you can make money within the stock market, which is basically flipping a stock in a sense. And so that's the most popular form that a lot of people are always interested in and trying to figure out what to do, and that is trading. So now here's the thing. Also, if you're trading stocks, more than likely you can't get up at 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock and just sleep all day. Yes, if you're making money and you've made enough money or whatever the case is, then maybe that's the dream you can have. But if you're trading stocks, then you're going to be up before the markets open. You want to be up before the markets open, like at least a couple of hours or even a little bit before, so you can kind of see what's happening within the market, because there are things that are happening when the market is closed, pre-market, just like when the market it's closed afterwards. You have post-market, like after the market, what happens. So pre-market, you can actually see if the market is trending downward or if it's trending up during those times. And sometimes there might be news that comes out in the middle of the night that you might be able to latch on to, and it might be able to help you in what you're trying to do. But just basically getting up early and being up before the markets open is a good practice when you're trying to trade or you're learning how to trade. Now, I highly recommend you to do more research on trading, because there are different metrics, and people use tools and things where they can watch different entry points. There's a psychology behind it, and there's different strategies and different disciplines behind that, of things that you touch, things that you don't touch, when to touch it, when not to touch it, and things like that. Now, here's another method that you probably didn't think about, and that is getting free stock. Yes, I said it, getting free stock. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Now, if you look at my description, then you're going to see that there are different companies there that you can use to invest. Now, some of them give away $10, and depend on if they have a promo, maybe $20. Some of them do 25, some of them do 5. There might be different restrictions as far as, like, if you're going to open up an account, you must deposit this amount of money. But then you also have some that they give away free stock. Prime example, Webull right now, Webull actually is giving out, you get 7 free stocks if you actually refer 2 people. So if you refer 2 people to Webull, you can get 7 free stocks. The value is from like $4 to up to $1,600. And so basically all you have to do is refer somebody if you have a Webull account. So for an example, if you don't have a Webull account, you can go in the description below, you can use my link and sign up. Now, when you do that, you're going to get some free stock. Once you deposit $100 into that particular account, you're going to get more stock. Now you can also refer others to that. And when you refer others, you can also get free stock as well. that's a good example of how it goes. So I'll give an example with one of the companies. I can't necessarily say the name. A lot of times they don't like those type of things, but I have an account where I have, a few $1,000s in it that I use sometimes to just, buy, and sell, or just kind of like more short-term, investing, not things that I'm looking to be in for the long haul, maybe like 1 or 2, but mostly just short-term. One of the accounts that I have, I never had any intentions on, I guess you could say investing with the company, but I use it because once they came out with their platform, I actually did a review on it and I put my link in the description and things like that. And I actually accumulated over $500, from referrals, commission or whatever you want to call it, or referrals that went into the account. And so it ended up being a total of like between $500 to $600. And I said, well, since I got that money, let me go ahead and use that to maybe invest in some stocks. And I did that. And I used that money within that same account to invest in stocks. And I've since doubled my money. And it's only been probably about like, I guess you could say, 8-9 months or whatnot, but that money has doubled. Actually, it's more than doubled. You can actually do something like that where you actually have an account. Like a lot of people, for example, the most popular one they talk about is Robinhood, where you invite other people, you get free stock. Weeble's the same thing. And when you invite other people, you can actually get free stock. And if you invite enough people and enough people actually take heed to what you're inviting them to, or they take your link and they sign up and they get an account, etc., then you can actually make a lot of money from that. There are several people that I know that have made thousands of dollars from just inviting people to, take a look at this app or to get this particular app. I'm one of them where I've invited people to take a look at different apps and things like that they need for their investing as a possible. And because they did it, I've accumulated lots of money from just free stock. So this is a good time for a plug. Now, if you're looking to maybe get some free stock, check out the links below and sign up so you can do the same thing and you can invite people and you can actually make some money. It's crazy. I have a friend who was taking advantage of the stash account, taking the Stash Invest. They were taking advantage of that and the promo that they had, and they were just on Facebook telling people about it, and they ended up with having thousands of dollars in just referrals from people, just signing on to the app and learning how to invest through their link. So it definitely works. So that's another way that you can make your first $1,000 within, the stock market. And then you take that money and you can reinvest it. You don't want to take the money and then splurge it. That's not what we're here talking about. You don't want to take the money and, buy a Lamborghini wheel. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being able to take that money and make it grow for the most part, or being able to put it somewhere that's needed, or maybe it's something that you may really actually need. Now, another common one is buy low and sell high. Prime example, if you buy, a share of a company at $10 and that share goes up to $1,000, then you've made the difference. And so that's a classic example of just buy low and sell high. Now, sometimes it's not easy to tell when you're buying low, and sometimes it's not easy to tell when you're selling high. Because then sometimes you can be buying high and end up selling low, and that means you're losing money. But that's one of the other ways that people do is they buy low and they sell high. So I can give an example for myself. Let's say, for example, when I bought into Facebook, it was back during their IPO time, and when they came out, they're about $30-some a share. I bought shares because I understood social media. Then they went down to like $18 a share. I bought shares. Now we fast forward till today. Facebook is around $250 to $300 a share, maybe a little less. Basically that money that I put in is now more money. So let's say if you bought 20 shares of stock X and it's $10, that means you put $200 in. And they're all $10 and you got 20 shares. Well, if that $10 goes to $100, then now your $200 turns into $2,000. And so that's a more of a classic basic investing way that people make money is they buy low and they sell high. Along with that just comes along with the whole basic strategy of just investing, putting money into, different funds, into different stocks, and then those things just go up through time. That's also another way people make money. But here's one of the last ways that you can actually make $1,000 in, or your first $1,000, and that is getting into a company early on. Now this is tricky because typically people tell you do not invest in IPOs. Don't invest in IPOs. Don't do it. Don't get in the IPO, because you get in the IPO, it's gonna go down. You don't know what's going on. I normally like to wait before. Listen, every situation is different. Some IPOs you get into, I guess you could say most IPOs you can get into, and what will happen is once that IPO and that date is set and that thing goes public, everybody rushes in, that price goes up. And a lot of times there's a time period where the price now dips off and goes down, and sometimes lower than what it was. It's not always the case. Now, I have not invested in a lot of IPOs, but I have invested in some when they first went public, and some of them have actually, or majority of them have actually done pretty well. So you can find good companies that are just now getting into the market, and it can be a long play or a short-term play, but they're just getting into the market. Let's give a good example of like NIO right now. NIO is a EV, electric vehicle company. It's a hot stock right now. It's a hot topic on YouTube. And so when NIO first came out, some people ignored that particular stock. Now, myself personally, I actually did invest some money into NIO earlier on when they first came out. So I got NIO in between like $7 and $12 a share, right? So once I got into NIO around those prices, now NIO is up to 40 something dollars a share. Of course, that can be unicorn-ish, but that's just an example. You can get into a company early on, and if you get into the right company early on and it goes up and it does well and it's sustaining, then you'll definitely be able to take some profits from that, be able to take some money that you made from that out. So these are just a few ways that you can make, $1,000 within the stock market. Now, I encourage you to please do your research around, especially the things like trading, like option trading. Now, yes, I understand sometimes risk has a reward, but you do want to be careful. You want to be able to set some money aside from those things, but do your due diligence. But these are just some ways that you can actually, make some money in the stock market. And there are tons of people doing it. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stick around. I appreciate all the subscribers that I currently have. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on the next video. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace. Let's build this wealth, y'all.